Season 24-25 has come to an end. And what a season it was. 2 winners were crowned, but only after a war fought in grass. 93 games, no timeouts, no second chances. From last-minute screamers to championship deciders, every second counted. Legends were made, rivals clashed, dynasties began or ended. This was the Philippines Football League. We lived the season that changed everything.
Aboy PFL fans, and welcome to the PFL season review with me, Andy K. The 24-25 season is over, and it was a great, intense and action-packed season. The season opened up on September 28, 2024, but it wasn't without some issues. Loyola and Aguilas was supposed to start the season off, but Loyola wasn't able to field the team and the match was forfeited. But after 7 rounds, we took a break for Christmas and New Year's, and we can see that we had a new contender in Manila Digger. They have showed some serious muscles during the first half of the season and had broken into the top teams. And Loyola, who had forfeited their first match, started to show that they can compete with the top 6. But after the break, things started to stir among the bottom teams. Maharlika got a takeover, a new Taiwanese owners, and with that a new head coach. And some new players also come in. And the youth national team also got a couple of new players from some of the college teams around Philippines. And also some Filipino talent from abroad. And it was now things started to get very interesting. Both Maharlika and the youth national team started to really compete with the best. Maharlika even managed to beat Manila Digger, who were fighting for first place. And the youth team gave Stallion a tough fight and managed to draw one tagig. But at the end there were 2 teams fighting for first, Ka Iloilo and Manila Digger. And at a point there were 5 teams battling for the last 2 places in the top 4. And it simmered down to 3 at the end. One tagig locked down 3rd place, and Cebu and Stallion took a fight all the way to the end in one of the best match of the season. The Gentle Giants from Cebu tamed the Laguna Stallion and took the last spot for the final series. And at the top, the fight also lasted all the way to the end, even if Digger beat Kaya once and then drew them at the second to last match of the season. Loss against Maharlika come back to haunt them, and they finished just 1 point behind Kaya, who took their 3rd PFL Championship trophy in a row. Then came the final series, or the Golden Ticket Finals, the fight for a place in the Southeast Asian Club Championship. Kaya took on 4th placed Cebu in one semifinal, and Digger came against one tagig in the other. Both matches ended 2-1. Cebu took the win over Kaya, and Digger came back from behind, and the final teams were set. Digger versus Cebu, 2nd versus 4th, and Cebu managed to beat the odds and win the golden ticket to play in the Shopee Cup. Overall, this was a great season, the best PFL season ever in my opinion. I was first very unsure about the final playoff thing, because I'm not used to that format, but it gave the season something extra. We would never have gotten an intense match like the Cebu Stallion match if they didn't have anything to play for, so I actually hope they have the playoff back next season. Then we have to talk about the not so good thing about the season. The match coverage. Matchday Media did a very poor job. The matches lagged, the streams cut off, the camera angles and the camera operators in Iloilo didn't follow the ball around. The sound from the commentators were awful during the whole season. I don't have a problem with the commentators in all. They did a very good job, but it was the overall production of the match days was very poor. They need to do better. But the blame shouldn't only be on Matchday Media though. The PFF and Liga Football has to take a big piece of the blame. They should have done more to promote the league. Their social media should be more active. Not only share the results like they have, but also hype up the matches and also give more information to the fans. We were almost in the blind on how the season would go. We just found out like during the final rounds that the final playoff is not really a final playoff. It's a separate competition to get to decide who will play in the Shopee Cup. That information could have come out much earlier. We also need to have a full match schedule shown at the start of the season, so fans know when the matches are and where they are. The information, like I said, have been very poor. Even now, if you go to the PFL webpage, the last update is early February. I think match day 8 or 9 or something. And still we have no information how the next season will be. Will there be a PFL 2? Will there be a Copa? Will the league expand? What are the plans for next season? When is the next season starting? This is information fans need, this is information the teams need. And they need to do better if they want people to engage in this league. The teams have done their part and they gave us an outstanding season, but the people in charge, they failed big time. And now for the performances, I will list my pick for standout player for each team and the standout player of the league, breakthrough performances, best keeper, best save and best goal, and who was the standout team overall. So let's start with Mendiola. Even at 44 you can still see that Hamed Haimedi is a very good footballer. He might lack speed, but he has still very great vision and passing skills. So he is my pick for the Mendiola standout player. But I also want to give a shout out to the young goalkeeper that came in after the New Year's, Joshua Halog. He had a lot to do and didn't get much help from his defense, but he made a good impression on me. He made a couple of great saves. And the youth national team have a lot of good talent in their squad, but one that stood out to me in the end was Edgar Aben Jr. and his free kicks. I hope to see more of him in the next season, maybe in another top team. Then in Loyola we saw a big breakthrough with Rico Andersen. 9 goals he scored, and I think we also might see him in one of the top teams next season. And the standout player in Maharlika, I must go with the goalkeeper Kenry Balabu. What a character. He reminds me a little bit of René Higuita, if you guys remember him. A little bit eccentric, a little bit all over the place, but he did some really amazing saves, and I really like this guy. Then Davao, I think they underperformed this season, but Gabriel Costa is probably the player who stood out for me. He scored 8 goals in 14 matches, and quite a decent result. And Stallion, another team that didn't perform as well as I thought they would. It would be easy to just pick Finn McDaniel here, but I think he had a better season last year. So I will actually go with Mr. Incredible Abe Placito. He was very good defensively, but he also scored a couple of important goals, and he stood out for me. Yun Badelik is my choice in Cebu. The goalkeeper, he won the Golden Glove, he had 7 clean sheets, and he did save Cebu on many occasions. Then we have one Tagig. Great squad, many to choose from. It was quite hard, but I will go for the captain Arnel Amita, because when things weren't going Tagig's way, he stepped up, showed the way, and he feels like he has a great presence on the pitch. Manila Digger, another squad with many great performances. Psycho Cisse is top scorer with 16 goals, but he will not be my choice. Moru Mane really impressed me. The Gambian midfielder, he scored 12 goals, had 6 assists, a really great performance, and I will be surprised if he's still in Philippines next season. I hope he will be, but I think he might be picked up by a Thai or another Southeast Asian team. And for the champions, the choice was quite easy. Shuto Komaki, he has just been really good this season. It's another player I think might move away from Philippines, because he is good enough to play in a better league, sad to say. But Kaya might be able to keep hold of him, since they are gonna play in the Asian Champions League 2 next season. So let's hope for Kaya's and the PFL fans' sake that he will stay. And as the overall standout player in the PFL, my choice goes to Manila Diggers Murumane. Like I said, he has really impressed me this season. There were many good goalkeeping performances, but I think my choice will be Quincy Camarade of Wontagig, because his performances earned him a call-up for the national team, and he did some really great saves during the season, so it's well deserved that he got that call-up. And as for breakthrough performance, I choose 2. Rico Andes in Loyola and Edgar Aben Jr. for the Philippines youth national team. And for the standout team this season, it has to go to Manila Digger. Who would have thought that they will be in the fight for the first? Not me. Maybe a top 4 finish, but not as good as they did. Then for the best save this season, my choice goes to Kenry Balabu. His penalty save against Manila Digger, not only for the save itself, but for the importance of that save and what it meant for the league and for Maharlika. It was a massive win for Maharlika to beat Manila Digger, and in making that save, he sort of helped Kaya to win the title. And for the best goal, we had a lot of nice goals this season. Cebu's Daniel Gadia with his beautiful volley against Kaya. It really doesn't get better than that. And the biggest disappointment of the season, no surprise here, Match Media. You know the reason. So what are my hopes for next season? I hope all the teams will improve a little bit to make it even more exciting next season. I think the league format should stay. Don't change it up again. They have changed it too many times. I love the drama and the fight for the place in the PFL final series. And I think they will should stick with 10 teams. I want more teams to join, but hopefully then in a PFL 2. But of course, if there are only 2 more teams who wants to join, then go for a 12-team league. And the only change I would like to see for next season is that they start the season earlier. In the beginning of August would be best, so the break is not too long since they ended now in early May. And then also I would really love to see a comeback of the Copa Paulino Alcantara with the inclusion of the university teams and other teams that are not in the PFL. I really enjoyed the last Copa, so fingers crossed I will get it back. And as the future of this channel, what will I do? I do plan to come back with a PFL recap when the season starts again. I also have some video ideas for this channel during the break now. We will see if I can make that happen. But for now, I will take a little bit break from Philippines football and go back to my game streaming. If you didn't know, I used to stream Let's Plays over on Twitch, and I took a break from that doing these videos. So if you like, head over to Twitch and my channel Andy K Gaming and give me a follow if you'd like to watch me play some old video games or maybe even some Football Manager. I would also want to take time here to thank all of you who subscribe and all of you who have watched my content here on Shoot or something. It really means a lot to me. I know I don't get many views, but the feedback I get from all you guys, it really means a lot to me, and I really enjoy making these videos. That is it for me this season. Again, thank you all for watching, and as always, now say it with me guys, like, share and subscribe. Paalam!
The PFL, the PFL, the PFL, the PFL, the